Welcome back to the Renaissance. This is the second scenario we're going to play, the second battle, and this time we're playing against the AI. My plan for going forward is basically plan out what I'm going to do in my turn before I start the video. And then, so when we actually play each turn, I won't be sitting humming and hawing. I mean, I'll still have to react to things that happen during the turn, but the overall plan going in will already be made up in my mind. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is read the scenario briefing. Now, this is on the 21st of April, 1503. Through some sources, have the date as the 28th of April. So I'm not quite sure which one it is. I guess this far removed, a week really doesn't make much of a difference. It takes place in Cerignola. That is getting up a little further north in the southern part of Italy. And this is, we're following up with the Spanish general Gonsalvo de Cordova. Basically, after the battle we saw last time at Seminara, he's gone back and started from scratch. And this time, he's got a whole brand new plan, including he's got a lot more of those arquebus troops. So we will see how he does. Well, historically, it will tell us right now. So following a Spanish victory in the Second Battle of Seminara, which is not the one we fought the first, on the 21st of April, 1503, Calabria fell under Spanish control and the fighting shifted to Apulia. To counter the strong French cavalry and the Swiss pikemen, the outnumbered but astute Spanish general Gonsalvo de Cordova resorted to defensive tactics, deploying his forces on a hilly vineyard and strengthening his position by constructing trenches. With the Spanish light horse screening the main defensive position, the French leaders, Louis d'Armagnac, Duke of Nemours, and his rash subordinate, Yves d'Algerie, were unable to determine the strength of the enemy position and decided to launch a direct frontal assault on the Spanish earthworks and were repulsed in disorder once Nemours himself is killed by an arquebus shot. And I believe he has the distinction of being the first commanding officer in history to be killed by a handgun. Further badly coordinated attacks by the Swiss and the Gascon foot falter at the earthworks in the face of withering volleys of arquebus shot and artillery fire. Finally, sensing victory, Gonsalvo counterattacked and the dispirited French are driven off the battlefield. The Spanish genets then harassed the retreating enemy and the French artillery and baggage train were captured. I am playing with the default rules, and as it says, this is an early victory of gunpowder weaponry over shock melee tactics. We are going to try to reverse that historical first or early victory. We are playing the French. The Duke of Nemours was a very young man at the time, and he allowed his subordinate commanders to talk him into foolishly attacking before the artillery was brought up and placed. So we are not going to do that today. Nemours is going to say, no, we're going to do things my way. So the other problem we have is that it's 4 o'clock at night. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what happens. I do know that the visibility, right now, you can see here, it says it's 24 hexes. That's going to go way down, but I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with night fighting. This video series will assume that you kind of know the basics, that you are familiar with these games. If not, you can go back to my previous series, Learn to Play. Now, mind you, I can't tell you, I make several mistakes as I'm learning. I still am learning, and I probably will be learning for years to come. But I'm not going to be explaining everything out in full anymore about how things work, because that just drags the time way too much. So, looking at this, historically, all these forces came running up to here. And we can see there's a Bacchus here, and this has all kinds of majorly bad things that happen. We also see behind it there's trenches, and I'm pretty sure that those trenches are full of Spanish arquebus troops, behind which we can see there are some guns. There are guns. So historically, the French and Swiss forces basically ran up and smashed themselves on this very defensive position. Even if we look at the elevation, we see that there's a 2 elevation incline there. So that would not be good. That would be very bad, very very tough to try to storm that and be successful. So we are not going to do that. What are we going to do? This cavalry, we're going to come up and get rid of. It looks like he's got a whole bunch of the Stradiote light cavalry uh, screening in front. So we're going to use our cavalry to remove the enemy cavalry. Then the cavalry, we're not going to go in here. We're not even going to try to go in here with our cavalry. They're just basically going to protect our artillery. All our artillery is going to come up. We're going to place it up here within optimal range and start shelling the enemy. Meanwhile, the Swiss forces are going to come up to this road here, and we're going to try to storm in on this side here. We're going to avoid this south to the south altogether. So the Swiss are going to come up here and hit here. But the real just of things is going to be the French. The French are going to go all the way up. And as we can see here, the Spanish nicely have not, from what I can tell, fortified this entrance. So the French are going to come up and we're going to go in the back way. The Spanish are going to come in this way, or sorry, not the Spanish, the Swiss. If anybody can do that, it's going to be them. They're 1,100 strong pikeman units. So that, and meanwhile, our cavalry will screen, protect them, keep the enemy cavalry off our troops, and of course off the artillery. So that's it. I'm ready to play. As I said, we only have like 4 o'clock p.m. I'm not sure in southern Italy what time dusk is, but I assume it's going to happen in the next hour or so, or two. So we will try to move as quickly as possible. I'm not quite sure what nighttime fighting is like, but I will learn that as I go. So if there's anything I don't know or it's new to me, I will try to explain it to myself out loud, and hopefully I'm correct. If not, hopefully someone can correct me. But we are ready to play. So first thing I need to do is, guess this is the best zoom, is double click on this leader and hit Q and C. Okay, so this leader here, Ambercourt, he's a rating C. He's actually a rating D. He's being boosted by his commander above him. But right now he's got a rating of C. He commands this group. Then we have Nemor himself. We'll take him off for a second because he's the army commander. And we see that looks like Grignino is in charge of this, looks like heavy cavalry. So this must be all light. Yes, this is all light javelin armed cavalry, every single one of them. So yeah, so this is our light cavalry. This is our, well, heavy and medium. And I see we do have a little bit of light cavalry as well with each of them. I might separate those out. I don't see much. They're so much quicker than the other ones. Why would I leave them with them? Someone can explain that to me. So then we have this commander here. This is just a colonel. He's got a rating of D, currently being boosted from an E. He's in command of the artillery. I don't think the commander is too important for artillery. We don't initiate very many melee attacks with them. Then we have our army commander. Ooh, his command radius is much smaller than the last battle. So we will have to worry a little bit about the Swiss, but he much bigger than what we were used to last time for a command radius. And he is in command of the Swiss. And finally, we have Dears. He is a D-rated commander, and he is in charge of, well, pikemen. And I say these are our Gascons. Gascons, these guys. Yep, Gascons. Yep, 4 crossbow infantry. Okay, this is probably pike. Yes, pike. All right. So obviously the L's are crossbow. If it doesn't have a L for light infantry, it would be the pike. So they're going to go all the way up to the top. So what are we going to do first? Let's move the Swiss first. Oh, let me put the background noises on here. We got to hear the guns firing. There we go. There we go. Create that ambiance. So we're gonna head up. We're gonna head up into this. What do we got here? Orchard. So I'm gonna take them up there. Movement. Let's keep track of that. And we'll move him there. Yeah, that's good. These are all arquebus. So they're moving them. We're going to move them up to the edge of the orchard. Command range. Okay, well, you're obviously. So, what do we got here? 1,500 men, halberds, and pikes. And if we look at the parameter data, we see we got a max stacking of 1,600 men. There is a penalty to having that many men in a hex, isn't there? If it gets shot at, doesn't that increase the damage? I'm pretty sure it does. So I'm going to separate out the halberds. I'm going to go, let's keep the commander with the pikemen, and we'll move up here. We'll go into the town, sure. And that's as far as we can go with him because I want the skirmishers to stay within command range. Even though they're not going to melee. Oh, what? What? These arquebuses have a melee of 2. I was under the assumption that arquebus units would not want to melee. But that is telling me that they just might. Okay, what else do we have here? We have 1,100 more pikemen. They're going to head up the road. Now, I'm kind of taking a little bit of a chance here. This cavalry needs to come up and do quite well. And we'll move this cavalry up as well. So, but we're moving one group at a time here. So these are the halberds. They're going to move up here. Turn. What do we have here? This looks like it's the parent unit to the arquebuses. So we'll move him up as well into the orchard, so that he's close to they're close to their parent unit. Supply wagon can come up like this. That's all it's going to be able to do. And then we have another pikeman. He'll come up here like this. And he'll stay there just to kind of protect the supply wagon, I would say. Okay, next up we have our Frenchman. And we're just going to head up this road. Now, hopefully, I mean, our visibility is 24 hexes. Let's just make sure here. Unit visibility. So we zoom out. Okay, so there does not appear to be, well, there could be in the orchard. There does not appear to be any enemy troops out here, and that makes sense. They're all in this vineyards that they fortified. So I think we only have to worry about this cavalry, from what I can tell. Outside of there. We're going to go back to command range. We're going to go back here. We're going to zoom back in. So we're going to move up that road. Okay, we're not going to move very far up that road. 800 men, crossbow, sure. Turn. Do not want to be with our back spacing. Okay, we got more pikemen. Ooh, I didn't realize that. So they're going to be a little bit slower, aren't they? Oh, they can. I don't really want to be facing that way. I could go that way and turn my facing. Still move up. I'll just turn. Let's be cautious there. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, I don't think these are very light cavalry. So we already know in the end of the last battle, the last video series, they're not too effective. Even if they hit us in the rear, not all by themselves, anyways. We got some supplies. Well, we're gonna leave the supplies with the men. In fact, I need to get this supply wagon with, oh, probably the halberds, I imagine, or even the pikes, because it's not like they're going to slow down much from the supply wagons. Okay, anyways, back to this. We're going to move up here. Turn. What do we have here? 800 more crossbow. We probably can fit ourselves up like this. Yes, we can. We can even turn. More pikemen. They'll move up like this. Turn. And crossbow. We'll move up here like this. And if we look at our command radius, they're all in there. We're all in column, marching all the way up to here. That's where we want to go. Okay, so we've got taken care of those two. Let's move our artillery, and I'm basically moving all these units first, so I kind of see what I need to do with the cavalry, because they're, of course, they're going to be able to move the most, and they will be engaging this cavalry this turn. So I got to worry a little bit about this artillery. Why don't we move our heavy cavalry up first? But this we gotta do something about this. We got an army commander. This commander. He is a commander, but he has no command. I think that means he's a backup in case Namor dies. I believe that's what it said in the manual. But for right now, he doesn't do anything as a commander, except we can put him with a stack of units, and he will give them that melee and fire bonus that a leader will give units that it is stacked with. So we want to put him with one of our other two groups. So I'm going to click him first. I'm actually going to click off of that. Click back on. Just click him. Move him out. What do we got here? We don't want this light cavalry, but we will take these 300 heavy and medium cavalry. Move them up with him. Double click to select all the units in the hex. And we're going to move this way. We want to cover our artillery. Now, of course, we do have to worry about the divisional commander. So we need to move. We're going to have to make sure we cover this unit. So, but I'm going to go as much as I think this is as far as I can go. Right there. Okay, good to know. This light, do each of them have a light? Each of them has lights. We're going to, okay, so we're going to take the divisional commander and these 300 heavy and medium cavalry, and we're going to move here. Now this divisional commander is the direct commander of these cavalry units, so we're going to move him up here like this. And then finally we have Namor himself. So we do not want this. So we're just going to move him by himself up here. And then we're once again going to get the heavy, the 2 medium cavalry, and move those with him. And we're going to move them up. Oh, probably in back. This is Namor himself. Okay. There we go. So now we know kind of what we got to do. So we have these 300 light cavalry. We're going to put them in one stack together. That might be wrong, but there's only one way to find out. Make them all face the same way. And they have by far the most movement. So let's see where they can go. This is what? Field? Does that make a difference? Does that make a difference to a cavalry? So clear is 3. Where's field? Why am I blind? It does make a difference. It costs 1 more movement point to go through a field hex than it does a clear hex. So this would be, what do we got left for movement? 4, 2. So we can move 2. Or we could move 2. So it doesn't matter in this case. So we're going to go right here. Okay. Now, we'll leave the artillery for the last, since I don't really want the enemy cavalry running up to capture it, do I? What are we going to do here? We have 100, so if we hit the tab key, we see we got 100, 200, 200, 200. I think I'd like to have all these stacks be 200s. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can make 2 more stacks of 200. Just so I have a 2-to-1 advantage. This says 1XX, that's because we are now playing against the AI. We are now playing Fog of War. But I'm sure it's 100. Just like ours. So we want to have 2-to-1 odds on all the attacks we are about to do. So I'm going to click this group here. Now we got to remember his command radius. We need to keep him. We need to keep all of it because these units will be initiating melee. All right. So, but you don't actually check to see if you are detached until the beginning of your movement. I believe beginning of your turn. So for now, these units may initiate melee even if they're outside of the command radius of their immediate commander, Amber Court. So we're going to move them right up here. And these guys get it the easiest today because they will not have a unit We're going to do the same thing with this unit, but this unit does not have an enemy unit that's going to be able to give it a shot with the javelins, which is what I imagine is going to happen to all the rest of them. So looking at his command radius, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if he goes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they will be in command radius. So we know where he wants to go. So let's do him right now. He's going to come up. Once I select him, he's going to come up here. They are all facing the right way. And we're going to go in to charge this unit. We get shot at by the javelins, and we lose 1 man. Now, these 200 men, 200 light cavalry, they're going to come up and attack this unit. They get attacked too, and they lose 1 man. Alright, so that leaves us with this, and if we look at his command radius, we can go to that field with our cavalry. So we will have a little bit of a gap here. Damn it. We will. I need to move this pikeman up like this to have a zone of control. I think I'll even turn. Yes. So if I'm like that, and the pikeman have a zone of control here and here, and this cavalry has a zone of control here and here. So I think that should protect our artillery. And we'll move our artillery up here. Protect our artillery from the cavalry coming down and grabbing them, for example. We do not want that to happen. Alright, so now this 200 men here, or 200 cavalry, they're going to go here, if they can make it. 32 movement. I think they should be able to. Wire. Okay, so I don't quite know. So this is a move threat fail that just struck us. So a 2% chance, ladies and gentlemen, and we lost it. So that disordered them. So are they inside the command radius? Yes. What's their quality? C? That means they need to roll, when they roll to see if they rally from that disorder, they need to roll a 1, 2, 3, or a 4 on a 6-sided dice. So I don't know what to do with them just yet, but we know that just took a big hit on the movement. They're not going to be able to get up to the enemy, so we're going to try that again with these guys here. Assault pen. I do not know what that is, so we are going to have to look that up after this video. Alright, here we go. In we go. And they got lucky. They did not get shot at. Alright, and then we have this final group here. Actually, you know what I could do is I could put 300 of them together and attack the commanders, the unit their commander is with. Let's try that. We're going to leave the disordered unit behind. He'll just go up here, I guess. And we have 300 men. Looking at the stacking rules, I know, yeah, it's 800 men for cavalry. We only have 300. We should be fine. And now, what's the lowest movement? We have 17. You know, these cost 4 movement. So 3, 6, 9. No, can't go there because of his zone of control. 3, 6, 10, 14. We have 17 movement with our slowest piece, or piece with the least movement. So we can do that. And up we go. And once again, they got lucky. No shots. So we didn't actually get into contact with these 3 units. So, but I think because this pikeman zone of control is here and here, this cavalry zone of control is here and there. They have zone of control of these. There is a very small way through that this cavalry could take to get after our guns. We'll have to. I don't think the AI will do that. I don't think the AI will take advantage of that. But I think I'd be happy to be proven wrong. Kind of happy. Happy in some ways, not happy in others. All right, so we have all our. I could have, I could have charged, couldn't I? I could have charged. So we're just initiating normal melees, but I don't think we'd ever have a. Well, yeah, I don't think we'd have the chance to continue anyways. And basically, I just want to disorder all these units. We'll be disordered as well. Actually, that reminds me, we need to take him. Let's bring him up here like that. But yes, we're going to disorder all. Well, we're basically going to throw his line into disarray. And now the guns. So this one's unlimbered. That means I could take a shot. What's the range? 12. What's the gun? Sacker. Sacker at a range of 12 is not worth it. If it was one closer, I probably would have shot. Since that's the case, we're going to limber this cannon up, sacker up, and up we move. What's this gun? Demi Culverins. What's the range? Can you see it? Yes, he can. What's the range? Range of 12. For a Demi, he'd be in the way of all the other guns. Well, we'll take it anyways. Demi Culverin at a range of 12. No. No, in fact, I was looking at the wrong one. Sacker would actually only be 0.75. So no, this is not good enough. So we are going to limber up and move on up the road. Okay, that's a very slowly moving gun. Okay, next one, unlimbered as well. What do we have here? More Demi Culverins. So we know they're only going to be able to move one, limbering them, and moving, and that's it. What do we have here? My God, we have enough guns. Holy, fixed. Are all these fixed? Fixed. Everybody's fixed. Okay. What are we going to do? What is this? 2 Falcons. Okay, so these are much more maneuverable. Lighter guns. And they already are limbered. So we're going to move here. We have enough movement to move again. Do I want to do anything different with them? Maybe I should take a couple guns with me for the Swiss. A couple Falcons. See, here seems to be, look at the clear area, right? There are trenches, but it's much clearer. I think the artillery is going to be better firing here. What do we got here? We do have one area. Yeah, I guess maybe we'll take a couple Falcons with us, with the Swiss. So, but first of all, how are we going to get there? Let's see. I bet you that field. This is just a path. I don't even think that gives us any advantage. Where's the path? Yeah, it's exactly the same as a clear hex, but a field, mind you, is right here. And for an artillery, it's 5 in comparison to, well, what's a path? Where's the path? 3. Ooh, yeah, we don't want to go on the field, do we? But if we, how about staying on the clear? Artillery on the clear is still a 3. So we could move off that way. I think we will, because we got too much of a traffic jam here. So we're going to move off and follow the Swiss up with this gun. Okay, what do we have next? They will become detached, but I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters for artillery being detached. Alright, so here we go. We're going to have to go through that field. Oh no, we could go this way. Let's go down here. They are unlimbered. We have to limber up first and then move down. And that's as much as we're going to get. Now these guns here, we got a Culverin and we have a Demi Culverin. Okay, the Culverin has the longest range of all the guns. Culverin has, oh yeah. So I'm kind of thinking we want to be up here at the end of these fields, because I believe if you look at the map and you look at combat modifiers, we do have a minus 10% to damage taken when we're in those fields. So we want to set our artillery up in the north end of that field. But I don't think it'll be any faster going on the path because it's 3 movement. So I think we want to limber up and just head up the clear hexes till we get to this and then move into the field. I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, that's right. I'm just guessing. Here. All right, so we want to limber up and go up. I want to get the other go on. This is a Demi Culverin. Still pretty good. Move you up. Okay. And that is all of our movement. Zooming out. Let's turn off that map, combat modifiers. And let's hit the next unit. All units have been considered. I did not miss anything. Look at that. I think there is some improvement from this time, from last time starting the scenario to this time. I got a better feel for it. I still know that I know almost nothing. Don't worry. Okay, so we're going to end the turn, and we're going to do our melee attacks. This could have been charges. Maybe that was a major mistake, not charging up there. But we did not. So we're just going to do normal melee. So next turn, we'll save this as Battle 1. Maybe I should name it Cerignola. Okay, save. And here we go. Here we start with our melees. First one, 200 on 100. What do we get? Okay, it doesn't tell us the odds of Fog of War. Fog of War. So I don't think we get to exactly see what the odds are. That might explain why my message on the forum has not been answered. I guess the game expects us to figure all this stuff out, and no, it doesn't. It'd still be nice to have a learning option, just to learn how everything works. But advantage attacker, here we go. We are going to combat. We are going to initiate melee. Resolve melee, sorry. Alright, so 2 of us die, 7 of them die. We are now, everybody here is all disordered. Next cavalry, that's not quite as good as I thought it would be, but I guess. I mean, they're like cow. Alright, we're going to do the next melee. And resolve. Ooh, okay, so we didn't push them back that time. It looks like even odds there. So this one here, we should have a 20% advantage over the last 2 attacks we had because we have a commander with us, which gives us that bonus. So melee. And let's see what the results are. I don't see where that's any better. In fact, I think it's a little bit worse. This unit only lost 2, right? And killed 7. Alright, let's keep going. We're committed now. There we go. Advantage attacker. And oh yes, by the way, I didn't even mention, I did not do my fire attacks. All these units could have fired their javelins, and I did not do them because if you do not fire before you initiate a melee attack, you get a 20% bonus to your strength if you do not fire first, and that is what I did with all of them. Okay, so we are resolving this melee. Okay, this seems to be across the board. This seems to be the result, pretty much. We lose half of what they lose. And then finally we have our super strong, 300 men strong, attacking their commander's unit. What can they do? What's the difference? What's the difference between 200 and 300? Let's find out. Nothing. There is no difference that I can tell. I'm sure that's all because of the rules of the dice. Okay. And that is, I believe, our melees are all done. We cannot continue because we did not charge. And that might have been, probably should have charged. Probably should have charged with my cavalry. Alright, we're going to hit the end turn button. And we'll see what the enemy does. And then I'll quickly wrap it up for today anyways. Next turn, here we go. Let's see what the enemy does. We hear stuff. I'd say that'd be up here. Well, looking at this, not too many problems. Oh, looks like they're shifting their artillery. Okay, they get quite a bit of foot movement going on there, don't they? Okay, so out of 12 units that we have only 2 of them undisordered. That could be better. Let's look. Q, C. They're all in the command range. What is your command range? C. So, but does that actually help any of these? Well, the D's it would help, would it not? Make it their rolls one better to succeed. But it doesn't seem like it did too much of that. We did get a couple of them back. But most of them are still disordered. Of course, his are disordered as well, and we'd really like to take out that commander, even if it is just Colonel Anonymous. We do have a cavalry that came in behind. We'll have to deal with that. And we have a cavalry here that's we need to keep off our guns, but I feel fairly confident. We still don't see anything going on up here, so it looks like we'll have clear sailing next turn. Um, yeah, yeah, seems like that went pretty well to me for our first turn. We will see what happens in the next video, which will be released tomorrow. Anyways, guys, take care and hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.